Namaste, Joy Makamakka. So this is a part two of the video that I did just before that regarding Ma Durga Upasana in Navaratri. So few questions came from people and I'm trying to answer them so that it's easier for you to do the sadhanas. First, obviously, first question is regarding lemon, which I had mentioned, which you can offer as a bali. So lemon, offering lemon to the Divine Mother, to Ma Durga, or any form of Bhagavati, is a very standard practice in many temples in South India. Okay, so it's a very effective practice also. If you do it, you will see how strong a result it can produce. Okay, provided the depending on the the karmic flow of the individual and things like that. So if you have to give a lemon as a bali to the mother, first thing you need is obviously you have to have a fresh lemon. Then keep a little bit of red sindoor. The red has to be completely red. जो मतलब भगवती को जो लाल चढ़ाया जाता है वो, नॉट द हनुमान जी वाला reddish, that color, no. So it has to be completely deep red kind of sindoor. You must have a small knife through which you will use to cut the lemon, and that knife should not be one that you have used in the kitchen. So it has to be something fresh. Best is to buy from the market and keep a knife in your puja place. So once you decide that okay, I have to give this lemon bali to the mother, wash the knife carefully, wash the lemon, take a little bit of pinch of sindoor in your this ring finger of the right hand, and smear it on the lemon, put it on the lemon, put it on the knife with whatever mantra you are doing. Or if you are doing the 32 names of Ma Durga, then chant the 32 names, put it on the lemon, put it on just one mark, one drop, like a tilak, doing it on the lemon and doing it on the ayudha. That becomes, then it's not a knife, it's like the kharga of the mother. It is not a kharga, but it's something like a weapon of the mother. Okay, so it has to be treated with utmost respect. You cannot use that again for any other mundane purposes. Keep it. Some people in fact uh, keep a red cloth and keep it tied in the cloth, and only when the bali has to be given they take it out, give the bali, and then put the knife back into the red cloth and keep it in the puja room. So after that, having said that, you without complicating anything, just mentally tell Ma Durga that you want to give this as a bali, as the lemon as a bali, and then cut it exactly in half, two parts. Once the two parts are cut, then you can actually scoop out the lemon and create two diyas out of the lemon, basically. So there will be two parts of the lemon, then you scoop out the interiors of it, add some oil or ghee, or maybe one ghee and one oil depending on what you want. Add a little bit of bati wick, small wick into it, and then you light it. Okay, and once you light it, then sit and chant the 32 names of Ma Durga as many times as you can, 9, 11, 21, 36, whatever, up to you. The more you do, the better. Okay, and as you do it, you tell the mother that this was done for her pleasure. Okay, this is the simplest way of giving the bali to the mother. And after some time, you'll see that the fire has caught the lemon starts kind of burning, and once the flame goes off later on, you can just dispose the lemon somewhere else, outside of the house, maybe the next day or whatever. So this is the simplest vidhan. Now if somebody is a little bit more accustomed to doing this, don't do it on day one. Suppose you have done this sadhana multiple times, 4, 5, 6 times, you want to make it a little bit more intense. Okay, intense in the application of the power that is generated through your mantra sadhana. Then you can actually take a sankalpa before the bali. Tell the mother with your name, gotra, everything, that on XYZ day, XYZ tithi, on you so and so individual, is going to offer this lemon as a bali to the mother to the best of your ability. Yehi cheese, you can put it, you can take the Sanskrit sankalpa, and sankalpa mantras are very easily available today, or you may even write it down in your own language and take it. There is no problem in that. Important thing if you are taking a sankalpa is that before you take the sankalpa, please write it down somewhere so that there are no errors and mistakes. So it should not be that when you are taking the sankalpa for it, for any sadhana for that matter, in the middle of the sankalpa you start fumbling कि नाम क्या है, गोत्र क्या है, या तिथि कौन सा है, ये कौन सा, वो कौन सा है, व्हाट इज़ द रिजल्ट यू वांट, ये सब नहीं होना चाहिए, फिर वो संकल्प काम नहीं करेगा. संकल्प हैज़ टू कम इन अ डायरेक्ट फ्लो इन द माइंड. दैट इज़ वाई ऑलवेज राइट डाउन द संकल्प बिफोर हैंड. अच्छा, संकल्प के बारे में और एक चीज़ है, जस्ट इन केस इफ समबडी इज इंटरेस्टेड, संकल्प को और दृढ़ बनाने के लिए, इफ यू हैव टू मेक द संकल्प मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर, फर्म, very intense, then take the sankalpa thrice. एक बार नहीं, एक दो तीन. First time when you take the sankalpa, take some water in your hand, take the sankalpa, drop the water. Once you drop the water, that is like the jal tattva becomes a witness to your sadhana. Then take a little bit of kapoor and burn it in a plate or something, like you do aarti. And while the fire is burning, you take the sankalpa again. Then the Agni Tattva becomes your witness to the sankalpa. Third, you take agarbatti, and while you are lighting, showing agarbatti to the devata, you again take the sankalpa. Thrice, if the sankalpa is taken, it becomes very powerful. The other thing with sankalpa is that in case you ever you take a sankalpa for any sadhana, make sure that you complete it. Okay, whatever obstacles come, whatever happens, you have to complete it. It's not that you have to do it with full concentration. If there are badhas that come, and very often they will come, because if you are taking a sankalpa, then whatever karmic blockages you have, the deity is going to try and remove that, and immediately there will be some of the other obstacles that will come your way. It is absolutely natural. You just have to use your willpower to go through it, which is why if you keep consistently doing sadhana, you will develop that ability to break through whatever obstacle is there and yet reach your goal. That is the first most important lesson in sadhana. It develops your willpower. Once the will is developed, then the mind and body will start developing in a way that it can hold greater amount of power and shakti within itself over time. So whenever you take a sankalpa, fulfill it, even if it is not with even if you lack concentration, even if there is any other you're not able to do it to the best of your ability, doesn't matter. Still just complete the sankalpa. जो संकल्प में लिया गया है, जितना बताया गया है, जो भी है, जो मंत्र है या जो भी पद्धति और whatever you have said in the sankalpa, please fulfill it to the end. Okay, that is one of the key things whenever there is a sankalpa or a promise being made to a devata. Remember, all Hindu pujas have sankalpa. ठीक है, वो चाहे कोई बेसिक एवरेज puja is being done by a pandit ji at home or anybody, without a sankalpa it will not start. That is the basic thing. Now once so this is how the lemon belly thing is done. But remember, once again, let me repeat, if you are consistently giving lemon sacrifice to the mother, consistently, एक दिन एक नहीं, मतलब regularly if you are giving, remember that it is very powerful process. So it is going to cause karmic upheavals in your life first of all. Okay, so you have to be ready to face that. Later on things will become fine, but you cannot midway run away from that. Okay, so beware of that, which is to say that when I speak of these things, I give a wide range of options. Please use your judgment, discrimination to see which is the best thing suitable for you. Don't just go into the most obscure of the processes that I mentioned. I mentioned because these videos will be seen by a whole lot of people, each one of different caliber and different competency and different history and sadhana, etc. So you decide, use some discrimination and decide. And if you're unsure what to do, choose the one that is less risky always. So what is the least risky process in the sadhana, in this Ma Durga's 32 names? Just do parayan of it. Just do every day, spend some time reading that 32 names. Acha, if you are doing that, here comes point number 2. What is the amount of times you should do the chanting? Here, as I had mentioned in the previous video, do it 32 times or do it 108 times. Basically, it should be a sufficient quantity of time that you have to do. It cannot be that you do it just once and expect a result, then it will be very slow. You have to spend at least, say, if this is the sadhana you choose, in 24 hours you should spend at least 1 hour doing this sadhana. If this is what you finally want as the main sadhana, or Ma Durga is the devata you want to connect to eventually, and this is the sadhana you want, it should be at least 1 hour, minimum 1 hour. So you decide how long it takes, how many parts parayana, how many times recitation requires 1 hour or takes about 1 hour. So that is like a minimum. Okay, if you do more than that, if you have time for that, even better. Third thing, for success in, for a long term success, now these things about the short term ones goals, which is during the Navaratri you're doing, the processes specifically you're doing for Navaratri, or you're doing so many amounts of part of the stotra in order to remove some problem. Those are prayoga or kamya prayoga, as I mentioned. Those are desire fulfillment upasana. Okay, there is nothing wrong in it, by the way. Every text of dharma actually gives all these processes, because dharma is not only about the transcendental, it is also very much about the real world which we, you and I, survive in. The other is, you are not doing the sadhana for any material goal at the moment. There is nothing in your life that needs an immediate solution. You are fine with it. You just want spiritual progress. And by spiritual progress, you mean you want to develop a deeper connection with Bhagavati Ma Durga. In that case, you pick the sadhana and carry this on. Choose a certain number of times you do it, say 32, 54, 108, whatever. And again, remember, it should be at least close to an hour a day. Okay, and then the third important factor, keep doing this for 3 to 4 years without stopping. Then only you will see the certain reactions to the sadhana, certain positive developments, and you will see certain amount of anugraha, kripa, or blessings of the deity will start coming. You will start feeling the blessings of Ma Durga. But remember, time is very important. It is not 10 day, 15 day. If you want to make a connection to a devata, 3 to 4 years is just the minimum starting time. Ideally 12 years. Okay, without break, which means it is not that 2 months you do and 3 months you don't do anything and again you start, then it doesn't count. Okay, without break, even 1 day break also should not be there. And if you in between say fall sick, no problem, lie down on the bed and mentally keep doing it. That discipline, that dedication goes a long way in spiritual progress. Somebody, there is a great accountant in nature who keeps track how much effort is this guy putting in, how much sadhana is he doing. Whether you get the result at that time or not does not matter. Somebody is noting it down, and at the right time you will get back the result. Nothing of it goes waste ever, just a matter of time. The other question, somebody else mentioned a very valid point, that if you don't know how to do homa, so homa, maybe I'll make a separate video of it some other time. Homa is an integral part of mantra sadhana. So whenever you are doing mantra, mantra has to pass through japa, then homa, then tarpana, then abhishekam or abhishinchan, and then bhojanam. This is how the mantra activates to all the 5 tattvas in the universe. Okay, this pancha tattva is the pancha mahabhuta that has created the universe. The mantra has to work its energy through all the 5. Then the mantra has to connect to your personal Shakti, which is the Chit Shakti in the individual, and then only it will start activating and guiding you and transforming your life. Okay. So in case you do not know homas, it is fine. You don't have to, make an effort right at this moment, then skip that step. If you don't know Tarpana, then skip it. Okay. What you do is instead, now this, for the moment, for now, don't bother about the homa if you don't know. Just do the part of the mantra, just do the part of the stotra, increase the part. But for the sake of understanding and knowledge, suppose somebody wants to do a mantra sadhana and is not aware of the process of homa, then you have to find out how many, there is a simple method of calculation, how much ahutis have to be given for that mantra to activate, and twice the number of ahutis you have to do japa. Okay, so suppose you had to do say you have to do give 100 times the stotra in fire in it as ahuti with swaha and other the angas of homa, etc. 100 times you have to do, or you have to give 100 malas of ahuti in the fire, but you don't know how to do homa. So then you have to do 200 malas of japa with a sankalpa that I am doing it instead of the homa, and then it will act as you know a secondary means of achieving the similar goal without using fire. Remember one thing, the base of sadhana is japa. Okay, japa or parayana. This is the base. On that, then there is homa, tarpan, marjan, everything slowly gets added over time. But fundamental base is how much time are you spending in japa, in parayana, etc. That is going to first create your change, the transformation inside you will start with that. If that is not being done, all the other processes will not bring you the result. That is the sanguine wisdom of upasana for thousands of years. Okay, nobody can tamper with it. So don't bother too much if you don't know homa. Just focus on doing more of this stotra, and that count of homa that you want to do, then take a sankalpa and tell that I am not able to do the homa. So instead of that, I'll do twice the amount of part. Okay. So if 100 was the count of homa that had to be given in the fire, then you will do 200 japa for that to make up for the lack of homa. So this is the vidhan or the paddhati that is mentioned in the texts of mantra shastra, how you should go about it. So with these two, I think again this stotra specifically, as I mentioned in the previous video, has a tremendous mystical power in it. And this is not the only stotra, there are others also, but this one is actually widely available because it is published through the Gita Press. If you buy the Durga Saptasati or Devi Mahatyam of Gita Press, you will see that this stotra is always added at the end of it. So pretty much everybody is aware of this. It's easily available on the internet also. You just have to search 32 names of Ma Durga and you will get it. Okay. There are other saints, great saints who have praised this stotra, Shakta saints, and who have said that it can be used by anybody without any initiation. Okay. And if you do consistently, some blessings of the mother will keep coming to you. One of the first blessings that come of Ma Durga is tremendous protection. So this comes to the third aspect, that what exactly is Durga basically. So the scholars will tell you that the name Durga is perhaps a reflection of the name of being a fortress, of the similar principle, something that is invincible, a deity who represents the quality of invincibility. She creates that blessing, that aura, that nothing can come and attack you, and that is one of the good reasons why she was also the Kuladevi of many large number of Kshatriya clans in India, because she is also the goddess of war. As Chandika, she becomes the goddess of war. So Durga is basically a name for a collection of multiple forms of the mother, each one with certain similar traits. But again, there are differences. There's Mahishamardini, depending on the mantra, as the mantra changes of the mother, the form, the iconography, the number of hands, the weapons, the posture in which she stands, etc. All of this will change, and each one has certain specific qualities that it brings. It's actually a very vast topic, discussing the from the Shastric point of view and from the experiential point of view, the beauty and the depth and the tremendous grandeur of the Devata whom we call as Ma Durga. She's just mind-blowing. If somebody is able to do the sadhana properly and you get even slightest amount of experience, there is a immediate uplift in the spirits, in the power of the upasaka that happens. Fear is the first thing that will go from you. Okay, and she gives the individual the ability, if she blesses an individual, the ability to become to have that ability to command, to be a leader, to lead a group. That is what one of the first blessings that Ma Durga can give to an individual, if the sadhana is done correctly and all that. So I hope once again that you have a blissful Navaratri, and keep doing sadhana. The whole point of these videos, as I mentioned, is so that you can do the sadhanas on your own, and over time you develop. We have reached a stage, it's my personal opinion, people can disagree with it, but what dharma needs right now is more people to actually try and connect to the devatas through the right methods of upasana, instead of forming another human cult. Okay, we already have way too many, uh, no offense to anybody, but way too many, what you call that, the human puja systems that are going on. It's fine, let whoever wants to do, that's okay, but do your sadhana consistently, in the right manner, in the right principles. Put in that effort for a few years, and if at all you are able, at least some of you who see these videos are able to connect to a devata, any devata, ishta devata, you will see what beauty it is. It is something that cannot be matched by any other human interaction. And a devata is somebody who never fails you, if at all he or she takes your hand. Human beings, even the best of them, will have flaws. This is how Bhagavati Mahamaya has created the universe. It has always been this way, it will always be this way, and it's never going to change. Which is why I feel it's better as upasakas to keep your aim to be able to connect to a deity over a few years of sadhana, and let the deity, the devata, govern your life as friend, philosopher, and guide, and then see how beautiful it becomes. Joy Mama Namaste.